coming out of the pit for our fourth stint. It's gonna be real quiet on track, but that's not gonna last for long. We don't have a great kart. We're gonna battling some traffic that's gonna be slowing us down massively throughout this stint. So for now we can just enjoy the comp, but it's not going to last, unfortunately. Hello everyone, welcome to the 24 Hours of Lelystad, my fourth stint and my penultimate stint. Only one more to go after this one. It's about 3 a.m. or maybe even 4 a.m. not quite sure anymore. It's really late into the night and we've had a little bit of a change up in our strategy because we have been pitting more than we have to. We're gonna extend a few of our stints and that means this stint is going to be the longest I have done yet. Maximum stint time is 55 minutes, so that means we're gonna be in the kart for almost an hour and we're gonna see what we can do, if we maybe still can get a lot of lap time, maybe get close to those 42s. But you can see someone overtaking me there on the inside in a Mercedes Petronas racing suit and they're just driving away quite easily. My lap time, of course, the first lap being very slow because of the pit stop. We're gonna have to see what my first lap time is, but I can feel this kart is quite slow. You can see on the straight here, the kart in front just getting better exits, but especially driving away at the top end, and that means this kart doesn't really have any speed in the kart. No low end, no high end, it's just slow, but we're gonna try to make up for that in the corners. The first lap was 43.9, of course also cold tires, so we're gonna have to wait a few laps to see what my best lap is going to be, but it's probably going to be slower than my last stint. Still going to try everything to get the maximum pace out of this kart, and we need of course to warm up the tires a bit. Like I said, they are cold, but that is okay. Still around P30, we are slowly climbing. We might have gained 1 or 2 positions in this race. We're around P27, P28 I think, can't quite remember, and for next year I'll probably keep a closer eye on our position. It's just really difficult throughout the whole race to keep track of when I'm driving and then also when we are in which position. But we have of course one more stint after this one. We've also recorded the final stint of our race, so you're gonna have to wait and see for our final position. If you want to know, then watch those final videos and I will tell you. But we now have someone right behind us, I think, as we have a big group in front of us and it does look like we're gaining on them, so we're gonna have to overtake them as quickly as we can. So this is going to be a big battle. Someone diving down the inside there of the final corner, getting past, but they are now kind of in my way as we have a bad lap of 44.0. and I say they're in my way because through the first 2 turns I'm very quick, but they're quite slow and I have to brake way more than I usually do. So we're gonna have to overtake this person in front in the red helmet as well at some point, but they're gonna be one of the most difficult overtakes we're gonna have to do. They are gonna fight us quite a lot as we have gained back up to the person in the Mercedes suit and the yellow helmet. They are in front of the guy in front of me, so only one person in between, and the person in front of this train doesn't want to be overtaken, I think, as it looks like everyone is stuck behind him. Through the final corner you have 2 sets of 2x2. The guy in the red helmet gets slowed down, but our pace isn't quick enough to capitalize. That engine bogging me down. We can't draw alongside, so we have to wait again. We're gonna probably have to do a dive somewhere to the inside, but we can't quite manage it. It's very difficult to get a good exit and then to get a good enough entry into the corner to dive to the inside. So we're in a train, someone facing the wrong way there, so someone there spun around probably by contact, and we have a train of 6 in front of us, I think it is, but we lost a bit of pace there, but immediately catch back up, and that means we are being held up. Our pace not being great doesn't help, but I do want to overtake these guys as quickly as I can, but this kart isn't helping and I am going to whine about it quite a bit more probably, or at least complain about it, because look at the gap that you just get on the straight and that is just not helping. I'm quick through the corners. And the exit here, I am actually decent, but we can't quite manage to move down the inside. Again, 2 sets of 2x2. This might open an opportunity. We go down the inside of the guy in the red helmet, but again, on the exit, not enough speed. And as they are side by side now with someone with a funny helmet, we try dive down the inside, but they just turn in. We hit them, we back out, and now we're trying again. On the exit, someone had a bad one, we had a good one. So we're side by side with the funny helmet, we overtake them, and now we're side by side with the blue helmet. They're kind of boxed in, but you can see how slow my Kart now is. Full throttle, and we just lose the position. I didn't back out there. We go down the inside of turn 2, they push us onto the cross though, but we do manage to make it stick. Go around the outside here, and that is 2 people overtaken. Make sure they don't dive down the inside. Now we're gonna have to drive away from them and try to catch up with the red helmet again, as they have, as you can see, gained quite a lot of ground. Our last few laps also quite slow in the 44s because we were battling. Now we can go back to our own pace, and you can see we are now catching up. The red helmet being slowed down by someone in a red suit though, so I'm not quite sure if they're truly quicker than me. We're gonna see. Going on to the start finish straight, trying to use that slipstream for as much as we can. Going through turn 1, catching up, but again battling in front. The guy on the right here gonna try to go around, but he is defending a little bit. He pushed us a bit more wide. We go down his inside. That was a quick overtake. We need those quick overtakes to just get back to the guy in red. We go wide through the right hander, and we're gonna have to make sure he doesn't try and move to the inside, but we are lucky enough he doesn't just dive down the inside. We're trying to gain back up onto the train in front. Again, 4 people in a train, so that will slow us down if we're able to catch back up probably. And still those lap times in the 44, last lap 44.1, this lap 44.4, not doing well, but I am contemplating, do I switch Kart? It's gonna be a second a lap probably that we can gain if we get a good Kart, but again we also have to extend our stints already, and this Kart is decent enough I think to warrant not to change the Kart. So that means we're gonna stick with it the whole stint, even though it feels bad and I don't feel as confident as in the other Karts that I have driven. We're still gonna stick with it. We're gonna see what we can do and hope that we get a quick Kart. Our final stint is going to be in the daylight, so that's also going to be fun. A lot of these stints I normally do are in the dark, but this year we are doing a few day stints. The first stint was in the day, our final stint was in the day. Of course you haven't seen the first stint because we don't have any footage, but now we are catching back up to the 4 guys in front. So let's see if we can overtake any of them. Through the middle part of the lap we are now closing up. I am definitely a little bit quicker through the corners, just carrying a bit more speed if I take it correctly. The guy in red now getting overtaken, and that means he's our next target. Through the left, right, I just want to get close, make sure we get a good exit, and then try and move down the inside of the final corner, but we're just a bit too far back, trying to make sure we have a good exit. Someone side by side on the straight, and now we are catching on the straight as they're slowing each other down, but there's no room towards the inside. The guy in red pushing through, and we're following him, trying to follow him, but the guy in the green shirt didn't see me, and that means we have to wait a little bit longer, and now can dive down the inside of the left-hander, shut him out, make sure he doesn't try and move through the right-hander. But again, a bit of catching up to do for us through the train with the 3 people in front, and that means we're gonna have to be better through the left-right. But first the left-hander, they're just so close, and now the left-right, and we are catching up through it, trying to have a good exit to maybe make a move, but they gain a bit of ground, so we're gonna have to stay behind. That slipstream might work. There's 2 cars in front, but you can see they're just gaining time on me on the straight. That's gonna be the bane of my existence. Once I maybe finally get through, you'll have to wait and see what happens, but you can see my pace still in the 44. The guy with the red helmet now looking behind. I hope he doesn't go defensive mistake from him through the left-hander. We can't still dive down the inside, so that's unfortunate. And again, a next left-hander, not quite enough room. I'm really struggling with this Kart to make the overtakes that I need to make. And in clean air I can set 43 low lap times, but right now behind them I'm in the 44s, so I'm losing at least a second a lap. Maybe I can even go a little bit quicker than that 43.3, but we hit the barrier there on exit, trying trying to compensate, can't manage to do it. One of the guys pits though, so that's one less problem in front. But the biggest problem right now is the guy in front with the red helmet. I do feel I have the pace on him, but it's gonna be very difficult to get past with how I'm driving and the engine that I have. Again, the last lap, a 43.4, that's a clean lap. As soon as I get held up or get someone in front of me, I just lose a massive amount of pace. Still trying to get a good exit through the left, right, and then when we approach the final corner, the guy in red overtakes someone again with a yellow helmet, but we unfortunately have to wait a little bit longer. Going on to the straight and across the start finish line, again a decent lap, looking towards the inside of turn 1, but we can't manage it. The guy in front braking quite early, going very wide though, so that makes it an easy overtake for us. I don't know why he went that wide, but it helps us through this lap. And again, the guy in red trying to overtake someone, but not quite managing, and that means we might be able to catch up a little bit more, as if he is stuck behind someone, then we can just use our pace to catch back up to the back of him, which is really encouraging. Still trying to get a lower lap time than that 43.3, and we're gonna see through this lap probably not an improvement, as we got held up through the first corner. Only a 10th of our best this stint though, so still a decent lap and a lot of pace still in the kart, even though this engine does feel quite bad. And that's what you have to do in a 24-hour. If you have the pace, use it. If you don't have the pace or the kart, just do everything that you can and be as quick as possible. We will see later on in this stint that will be a little bit more difficult while we're fighting with the traffic. For now, we're doing everything we can, and the red helmet just seems a little bit quicker through the left, right, making sure we have a great exit. Someone in black right in front of us. We're gonna probably dive down. No, we're not quite able to dive down the inside. I thought we were going for that move, but now on the straight you can see looking towards the inside, not quite managing to do so. He does leave enough room through the second part to almost get alongside. He is going wide, has a bit of a snap of oversteer. We have a better exit, and now we're gonna go through on the left-hander. That's what you have to do. Make sure you can guarantee a move, even if it costs you a bit of time in the beginning of the lap. Now we're through, and like I said, the guy in red does right now seem to have the same pace as he is just in front on the same gap the whole time, but we will catch him eventually, and then we'll have to battle him. Try not to lose too much time and then see what we can do. Like I said, I don't want to change karts right now. Normally I might change karts, but right now with the pit stops that we have, that isn't an option, so we're just having to do everything that we can. Now we might have a little bit of time before we have another overtake, so we'll go to the music and then we'll be right back. The guy in red now trying to overtake someone in blue, but getting held up quite a bit. And that means we have caught quite a bit through the left-hander, catching up, looking towards the inside, immediately getting past myself. Still side by side though, through the long left-hander. We break a bit earlier, try a switchback, but they stay on the apex. And now we're losing all the time that we gained on the guy in red. We are going to set up a move though through the final corner. It's a shame that he is fighting us this much, because he is definitely a lot slower. We get a better exit, but he is looking, and this guy in front just battling us, trying to defend. No position, goes wide though through turn 1, and that means we're passed easily. Don't know why he was defending that much, especially through the final corner. It just slowed us both down, and that means we have to catch up to the guy in red again. Two red helmets though in front, one of them going past the other. I think the guy that we are trying to catch is past now, and we might not see him for quite a bit if we can't improve the pace. I thought we were gonna battle him throughout this stint, but it looks like he's just getting further and further away. Still in my sights though, so I'm gonna try to stick with him as long as I can, keep him in my sights and maybe catch him later on. Short term, that does mean we just have to overtake the guy that is in between us. He does seem a bit slower than me, as we set a 43.7 last lap with that overtake, and now we're right behind the red helmet that is not our rival this stint. We're looking towards the inside already, just a bit too far back. The guy goes wide though, so we're on the outside for the next corner. Might not work out that well, and he is also kind of defending, kind of all over the road, maybe not on purpose defending. He doesn't seem that quick. Looking towards the inside now of the left right, but we can't quite manage to work that one out. Get a better exit though. We're almost alongside, going into the final corner. Make sure we hit that apex, slow down, but he is now on our left, onto the straight. Do just have enough pace though, and we are through. And now looking towards the outside, someone coming out of the pit just in front, but that I thought maybe even the blue flag group, and if it is, they are so quick, and that means we will get overtaken by them eventually. For now, just doing our own thing, and let's see how quickly we catch the next traffic or get overtaken. We have now caught up to a massive train. It looks like it's a bit further away, but through turn 1 we are going to catch up. The red helmet already dispatched of a few people, and we're gonna try to get through as quickly as we can. Green helmet hits the guy in front of him, so we go past. Someone with a white helmet now right in front, quite slow. We're diving down the inside there. We also had someone behind us, so we might get overtaken, but he is now following us through the traffic. Smart move from him, as we have someone in black right in front. We're going for a switchback. They're slow on the apex though. We already used the outside curb there. Go to the inside of the final corner. Bit of contact as they steer in like we're not there, and we go a bit of a slow lap. We lost a second there. Two guys going into the pit side by side. That was something interesting to see, but now we're doing our own thing and probably have some room in front, but we might have someone just down our inside quite soon. And if they are really that quick, we might not even fight it. Just try to use their pace, follow their lines, and then get quicker from there. But that is only if we get overtaken. I can also see some people in front, of course, so we might also have some overtaking to do quite quickly. Looking at the shadows though, it does look like he's quite close behind. We're gonna look probably at the next corner, or maybe even see him down the inside. Not quite yet, and we do now see him side by side there on the left, but he is not quite alongside enough to make a move as the straight curves a bit to the right, so we have to wait and see if he overtakes, as we're now catching up with someone in a white helmet and blue suit, but we let the guy actually through. It's not the blue flag group, I think, but it is someone in blue with a really cool helmet, and they are definitely quicker than me. We get a thumbs up, so we did well. We're trying to follow him. Maybe we can follow him through the next bit of traffic for us. He dives down the inside though, slows the other guy down a bit, but not enough for me to get past, so that's a bit unfortunate. Through the left right, a better exit again. That's what I specialize in, but I give him a bit of a tap. Still diving down the inside of the final corner with a late braking move. We go past, and now we have a bit of space in front of us, so let's see with some music how long it takes before we have some more action. we're coming back before the action on track because we're going into our quickest lap, the last lap of 43.3, but we're gonna get a great lap here. We hit the apexes of the first turns really well through the right-hander using enough curb but not bouncing off too much, through the next left-hander using a lot of curb actually, but that does seem to work out, and then through the right-hander staying off the curb, being as close as I can to it, and the same through the next left-hander, getting close to that curb but taking good enough speed, and then through the left-right using a lot of curb, losing the inside, and then going across that left-hand curb but not too wide. Final corner losing a lot of curb again. We're going approaching the line now, and it is going to be a 42.909, a really good lap time. So even though I felt this kart and engine were bad, I have a really good lap now. But now we have caught up to some traffic. We're gonna dive down the inside really quickly. Already on the next left-hander we get enough room. There we go, we're right past, and we do see someone else in front. We actually see a train in front. We see the red helmet again, I think, in there as well. So we might have a little bit of a battle with that 42.9. We might have been catching up a little bit, not quite sure. We'll have to wait and see if it's the same person. I would like a battle with them because I do think that would be very interesting. Might be someone else though. We will have to wait and see. But as you can see, onto the straight we are catching up. Someone goes into the pit, we go past, and that makes it a little bit easier. A train of 4 people still though. That is quite a lot of people to be overtaking. So we're gonna have to be smart about it, not get pushed into battles that we don't want to get pushed into, and just have to fight for a long time. That can cost us a load of time. The guy in red signaling something. He was waving, I think, to a marshal. Maybe someone did something that he didn't like, but now I can see it is the same guy with the red helmet. So we're gonna try to overtake him. We have caught back up, which is promising. Our pace has been quite good, so we're gonna dive down the inside of him, but someone slides their cart. I have to avoid it. We're now side by side. He wants us to go ahead, and we want to fight together now. We said that we want to fight together. My engine there really showing its weakness, especially in the low end. I just couldn't out-drag the guy in red. I was full throttle. We're gonna try to work together now through this traffic, and maybe afterwards we're gonna try to overtake again. But it's going to be quite difficult through the left-hander, just staying close. We give him a push though, so he can go past 2 people. We try on the inside. We're side by side through the left-hander, but the guy actually going ahead. We try to do a switchback. We don't have the engine for it, but still side by side through the left-right, and we get pushed out wide, so we can't quite make that move. Really smart way for the red guy, or the guy in the red helmet, to get along, but unfortunate for us that we couldn't overtake the guy with the white helmet now right in front of us. So we're gonna have to try again. This fighting not helping my pace. 44.9 last lap. We are definitely quicker though, so we're gonna try again, looking for a way to get past. He's slow on the apex. We give him a push again. That makes sure that we can't try anything into the left-hander. We do it better though. He goes wide. We try to switch to the inside, but see that it's not gonna work out. Stick behind, better line into the long left-hander, and we make sure we're alongside and past now, and go a little bit defensive into the left-right, so he can't try to make a move. And now we're approaching the left-hand hairpin. They do have a great engine though. I think we make a bit of a mistake into the final corner. Let's hope they're not too close. Again, a slow lap time, 44.4, but that is okay. Now we're past. Now we're gonna go and chase after the guy in the red helmet again. There's not a lot of traffic in front of it, some scattered cars though, so we might have some luck if we can overtake them quicker than him. Maybe a little train there I saw that is forming 2 or 3 people there, but that means we also have to get past that train if it still exists by the time we get there, and it's actually getting bigger. I saw 5 people now in a train, so we might be able to catch up a bit quicker. The bigger the train, the slower the drivers, and the slower the whole train is normally. But first we have someone in red, but they go very wide through the final corner, so they don't even hold me up. And now we're looking forward. 42.9 lap time again, almost a new best. That was a really good lap. So when we are in a groove and when we are driving well and not having any battles, we do have a lot of pace. This is a good stint. Track is also quite cool, so that means the tires won't overheat as easily as they do in the day. We can just push flat out every lap, but the guy in red has now joined that train. Can't quite see how many cars there are, but there seem to be quite a lot of them in there. Let's hope that by the time we get there, they might be a bit more spread out, or the quicker guys might already be paused. Doesn't look like it. 6 carts, I believe, in that train, so that is quite a big train, and it might only take one more lap to catch up. A 43.5 last lap, not that great. This lap is going to be a 43.0, and that means we'll be very close to that train. You can see up ahead the guy in red trying a lot of moves, mostly around the outside, and those aren't working out. Going through the right-hander, he sticks behind, gets to the right of the left-hander and tries around the outside, but especially through this corner that is not going to work. You need to be a lot quicker to go around the outside. The inside is almost always the best choice. Just diving towards that apex. As we go through the final corner, we're definitely going to catch up through the first few turns. Like I've said a lot of times before, those turns are my greatest strength on this track, and you can definitely say that we've now joined this train. It's at least 4 people. It is spreading out a little bit more, so that is good for us, as we have 2 people now going side by side, one getting past the other. The guy with the red helmet going around the outside again, but like before, it's not quite working out. The 2 guys in front still side by side. The guy in red now going to the inside. One of them goes wide, but we overtake one of them. Let's see if we can work together or overtake the red helmet again. Looking towards the final corner, he could have, I think, gone for that inside dive. Doesn't work out, and through the right hand kink here, the straight not being straight. Make sure the guy in black can stay behind. Goes very wide though. Guy with the red helmet going past. We're now side by side and actually also past. So that is 2 overtakes in a few corners. That is good. And now someone in blue. Let's see if we can again, like I said, work together with the guy with the red helmet. But again, he is looking for that outside line. The guy in blue does seem to be defending, and that means there's no way past into the left right. We go for a slower entry but a quicker exit here, so we can prioritize a move into that final corner. We have a run on the guy in red, but we go for the outside. He goes through on the guy in blue, and he is quite happy, I think, signaling to his team, really seeing pumped, and we're now right behind him, just trying to follow and then maybe pick him off when the time is right. I do think now I am quicker than him, using a lot of curb. He is looking behind, not quite sure if he wants to defend for me or not. Makes a mistake there, and you can see he is very suggestive with his hands. When something goes right, he gets pumped, but when something goes wrong, he also shows that, and we're now right on his bumper. We're gonna go again through the left right for that switch that you go slow in, fast out, but it doesn't work out this time. We're gonna have someone down the inside, fully in wide there. They do seem to be quicker, so we won't fight it that much. Maybe they can slow down the red helmet for me so I can get past, but we'll have to wait and see if they can get past. They do look quite quick though, through turn 1, already putting the cart alongside and actually holding up the red helmet as minimally as possible, and that means we're gonna have to do it ourselves. We are back on his bumper though, and that means a move is going to be on as soon as I can. Unfortunately, his cart does look quite good on the low end and in the straight lines, or when he is putting on the power, he is driving away, but through a few of the corners I am definitely quicker, and I can stay up with him, braking later and then making sure I get a good exit. Again on the straight here, you can see him pulling away a tiny bit, although my exit was a bit better there, and through turn 1 we will be catching up even more, but that doesn't mean a move is on. We're gonna have to surprise him. We go onto his bumper through the right-hander. He has the line. We need a good exit here, maybe a mistake from him, because you can see him driving away a bit through this middle part of the lap, and although I am taking decent lines, he is also doing very well. We use a lot of curb there, and the gap kind of stays the same. As you can see, we catch up through turn 1, then lose 1-2 cart lengths, and then we have to begin all over again at the end of the lap, and I am quicker through a few of the corners, but definitely we're quite evenly matched. As we actually hit the tire barrier there on the exit of the final corner, we now have someone on the inside, and he's gonna go past. We're not gonna fight it. That was a bad mistake from my part, but the guy in front does seem quicker than me, but we lost again a load of time to the red helmet. Maybe the guy that just overtook me can give us some time. There was someone there on the apex of the right-hander that was stuck there. Don't know what happened, but the red helmet is again fighting with someone, trying moves around the outside. This time he does make it work, and we actually also overtake the same person and overtake someone else into the left, right. We make sure they see us and we get past, not get stuck behind, and that actually brought us into the red helmet's clutches a bit more. There's a lot of traffic in front of him again, and that seems to be the case. As soon as he hits traffic, we are better through it and we are able to catch back up again. But now he has to deal with someone else that is quicker than him and diving down the inside of someone with a yellow helmet, and that is a lot of fighting in front. We are gonna dive down the yellow helmet immediately on the inside, and now again a quick overtake on traffic. We're really good with these quick moves. They were though trying to get back and hit me in the back there. That's a bit unfortunate, a bit annoying, and we make sure we stay on the inside of the left-hander, make sure there's no room to either try a dive or anything. But again he hits us in the back, braking late, but he half spins by doing that and loses a lot of time. Really annoying though, someone just hitting me in the back, trying to get back past. It luckily didn't work out, and now we're gonna try to catch back up. We can see in front two red helmets battling, and the guy that was quick that overtook me in the middle of them, and it's not gonna be long before I join that fight, or at least part of it. Not quite sure who of the two with the red helmet is I'll call him my rival for this stint, because we've been battling on and off for the whole stint. So that's about 30 minutes we've been battling. We've seen him quite a lot, and I just want to get past him, but we'll have to wait and see if we can do that. For now they're in a train. I think that is like 8 people there in that train, and they're also having 2-3 people in front kind of joining that train. So about a quarter of the field almost into that train. That is ridiculous and also quite cool to see so many people on the same part of the track. That is gonna make it a little bit difficult to overtake if you don't have the best card. It does take a little while for me though to catch up to them. It seems the pace of most of these runners is quite decent, and of course you only have a few corners where you can easily dive down the inside. But now approaching the left, right, we are joining the train, and we're gonna see who the first person is that we're gonna overtake. It seems that it's gonna be my rival and my friend that I've seen the whole stint. He's the last on the train, hasn't been able to overtake, and the guy with white and black helmet in front is holding him up now, and there's a bit of a gap to the train, so slowly it is falling apart. The quicker drivers getting in front of course, and then the slower drivers are falling back, and that's how the train falls always apart eventually. But for now we are right behind the red helmet, thinking about a move, but we can't quite pull it off. Bad exit there, so we'll have to stay behind for a little while longer. In front there's a lot of fighting going through the left hand. There's some people side by side that will slow them down through the left, right. Again a lot of fighting. I'm focusing on my exit there, but someone dives down the inside, just barges me out of the way. Not happy with that, but I am able to overtake my rival there, so that is a good thing. But we're on the outside and we have to slot in behind the black helmet there with the white suit. We had a bad exit there, and you can see it cost me a bit of time going through turn 1 and 2 though. We can catch back up. Again, my best part of the circuit. We kind of need to make a move somewhere, even though we're a bit further back than we want to. Now we're very close. We almost had to brake a little bit through the corner. Someone in front very slow going wide, and we have our rival on the inside almost. He's kind of pushing me. The guy with the black helmet also attacking someone, so we tried to go for a switchback but get a push from behind twice. Now through the final corner we're going to follow the black helmet through. It is a bit of a sand. We get a bad exit. Someone with a gold helmet on the left, someone with a red helmet on the right, but we have to slot in behind again, let their gold helmet through as well. Not happy there on the straight, because that was definitely my engine bogging down and not having the pace to get past that red helmet, even though I was on the inside through the corner. Now the gold helmet going past the red helmet. Let's see if that gives us an opportunity. We're on the outside switching to the inside, but they take a shallow line. We have to go over the curbs. Someone else now on my right and kind of boxed in there. I try a switchback, but it doesn't quite work. We're gonna have to try to get a better exit. Again, some hits from behind. We need to overtake. We just send that move towards the final corner. Again, this time hanging a bit on the apex, making sure no one can overtake us. And on the straight, we give the signal to work together. I just want to try to go as quickly as we can and not lose any time. We're battling quite a lot and it's just costing us pace. And if my engine is that bad, then if they push me along, that will gain everybody time. But again, in front there's a lot of fighting. We're back onto the black helmet. We dive down his inside though, and that worked out. Another black helmet in front. We're immediately looking, but the guy in the blue suit and the black helmet still fighting us through the left, right. The guy in front with the black, very slow. We push him into the path of the other black helmet, and again, I don't want to fight him. I want to go ahead, but we have some bad exit there. This is really bad, and we're again overtaken by 3 other cars, and you can just see how not happy I am. I'm very annoyed. Everybody just fighting so hard. I think if we work together, we can all gain pace, but right now it's not working out. The only thing we can do is try to overtake and then just drive away. So through the next left hander, we're looking towards the inside. I have a bit of a red mist descending. There was not a move on there. And through the next right, again looking and again losing a bit of time. I need to calm down because this is costing me 2, 3, maybe 4 seconds a lap, and I'm not that slow. I know that. A 46 lap time, very bad. Catching up again through the left, right. You can see how easy it is to catch up. We stick behind though through the final corner. We're trying to let them fight by themselves. We actually get a good exit, overtake one of them. I shake my helmet just to wake up and try to find a way past. That is clean. So we need to overtake the guy with the full black outfit, and we're gonna do that on the next left hander. We're gonna dive down his inside, make sure to shove him wide a bit because he goes for the normal racing line. He makes contact there, but we get back past. Now we're again trying to get to that black helmet white suit guy, and then there's someone in a red helmet in front of him. It's not our rival, who is probably now quite a bit down the road. I'm not sure if we'll see him this stint, but we are now right behind the black helmet again. We're just going for a good exit here again onto the final straight right behind him, but we can't pull alongside just yet. We're gonna have to be smart about it. Not any room through turn 1 or turn 2. He loses a bit of pace though, and through the right hander I go a bit wide, and that costs us a card length at least, and that means we can't quite overtake someone in blue fighting with the red helmet, but we dive down the inside of the black helmet. We are now past, again signaling on the wrong side though to work together, so he doesn't see it. Goes down my inside. We're side by side trying to signal when we're together. We go together. That makes me go wide though. We're fighting again. I don't want this fight. I want to work together. And now on my right, someone that I overtook easily onto the straight. This guy in front just costing me time, and again someone overtaking me on pace on a better exit, and that is really quite annoying. Now we're gonna have to overtake that guy again. The guy in black with the white suit is costing me so much time. He is diving down the inside every time. We go down the inside again on the left hander and trying to signal work together, but no one is listening to me. It's in the middle of the night of a 24 hours, but we're just not working together. We're fighting on our own. This is the first time I'm using those signals. That's how much annoyance this has cost me, because this is just costing me hand over fist on time, and I don't want that. I keep on making the same point. It's just costing me too much time, and we actually almost draft alongside on the straight here. That's how slow the car in front is, and we have someone right behind us as well. So we're now forming our own train, and we can't escape it. This is so annoying. I'm getting frustrated doing the commentary. That's how much annoyance I felt during the race. So we're gonna do a dive again towards the inside. The guy in the black helmet now fighting someone that is in full blue suit, and we're trying to just maintain pace. We're looking to the left, making sure no one dives down the inside. That's been the problem this whole time. The guy in the black helmet overtakes the guy with blue, and now we're right behind that guy. So we're gonna go down the inside of the final corner, and then we're gonna have to deal with the guy with the black helmet again. Someone trying to draft alongside there on the straight. Luckily he doesn't manage, and another head shake here on the straight, trying to get awake again, because I'm just making so many mistakes, letting them dive down the inside, which I shouldn't. As you can see, we can catch up so easily through the first few corners, and through the rest of the lap we can just get very close. We're keeping a close eye behind though. We don't want anyone down the inside. We make a little bit of a mistake though going into the long left hander. A bit of a defensive line. It doesn't cost me too much time. A good exit now onto the straight. We bump the guy with the black helmet though, and that cost us our opportunity to overtake him, so that's a bit annoying. We're gonna go for a good exit onto the straight. He has a bit of a weird line, and in front we have a red helmet fighting with someone in black. Let's see if they slow him down, and we need to get this move to the final stage. Just one more overtake and then we're done with him. We're not gonna let him, I hope, down the inside once again, but again a little train, and again a bit of a tap behind. He's now looking, he is now aware that I'm there again, and he might be a bit annoyed with me because I keep getting past, but he also keeps diving down my inside. He can't get past the red helmet though, and that gives us a good opportunity to do a switchback onto that final little bit of a straight for the final corner. We can't go for the move though, and now the red helmet and the black suit are side by side. Red helmet can't make the move and has to stick behind the guy in black on the straight. We go towards the inside, dive down the inside there of the black helmet white suit guy. He's still on our outside fighting us a lot, and he actually hits us a bit, and we're gonna have to make sure that we stay on the inside and feed him wide. I'm done with him, so we shove him wide. He has a lot of oversteer through that, but that must be us done with him. Someone else though is right behind us, and if we're not careful then he will overtake us and give that guy in black again an opportunity to overtake us. So through the left right we make sure to have a good line. Look behind, we have a bit of space, but we have someone of course with a red helmet right in front of us. They're quite slow. We have a good exit, we go towards the inside, we're drawing alongside even through the little bit of corner that it is, and down the inside. That was a very good move, and now we need to make sure to get past the next person in black quite soon. And looking behind, we have now a bit of room. The guy that we overtake with the red helmet definitely a lot slower. We are not right by though on the black helmet guy. We make a mistake through the right hander, have to wait, and now are right behind him here through the left right. We make sure again that we're gonna have a good exit onto that final corner. We're a bit further back than we want, but that doesn't matter. They break early and we go down the inside there, so we have the move done onto the straight. Now we can get back and hopefully get back to those 43 lap times. I've had a lot of laps 44 seconds or slower, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the guy with the black helmet and the white suit. Let's hope he does not come back for the rest of the video. Might be a decent driver, but this was just an annoying fight, and I hope if he even sees this that he's okay with my commentary. I'm just a bit annoyed by that fight, didn't want to lose that much time, and hopefully next time we can work better together. As we now approach someone in a red helmet, it's not my rival, and going into that final corner here, we dive down his inside, but he goes down the inside of someone else. We get a bit of help from behind though. We can't overtake the red helmet. We have someone on the left though, and that is not someone that is slow, so we're gonna try to fight it a bit, but not too much, as he is now down our inside through the first corners. He shoves us wide though, and that's a bit annoying. Someone in white also gets past, but I do know these are in teams quicker than me, and the white guy even gets by the guy that I was a bit annoyed by. That's okay, and now we're sticking behind and looking behind, making sure it doesn't cost us too much time. Guy in red going defensive though on the guy in white, gets shoved wide and has an accident with the guy that is quicker. 3 wide into the left right, it's gonna end badly. The guy with the red helmet gets also in the way. I'm a bit annoyed. Again, someone that I've overtaken a few times is back past, I think, and now we're looking behind. We need to get away from this. Again, a lot of time lost. I don't want to lose this time. I just want to do my own thing, but a last lap of 47 seconds almost. Very slow. Of course, that is part of 24-hour endurance racing. You're gonna have bad stints, but I haven't had a stint this bad in quite a bit. First order of business, getting in front of the guy in red. We try to dive down the inside, back out of it. We almost have someone down our inside, but we don't worry it for the next long left-hander. I can't quite do my trick of slow in, fast out through the left right, then someone would be down my inside. Still, we make it work through the final corner, get past the guy with the red helmet, still looking behind, get a bit of a tap, and we have a 43.5 lap time. That's definitely a lot better. I just need to get away from this, need to be as quick as I can, and we are now trying to do that. Just under 10 minutes remaining in this stint, then we're coming in, handing the car to my teammate, but we have some traffic in front of us still in those minutes. The guy behind me is still very close close by. Any mistakes and then we might get a battle again. You can see the gap behind shrinking. Not quite sure. Maybe it is someone that is quicker than me. Not someone that we have been battling. Can't quite see. We'll have to wait and see. Looking behind, we actually point them through. So that means it's someone definitely quicker than us. Looking at the helmet, we have not seen them before. So we're gonna give them a push on the straight a little bit at the beginning. And then we're gonna see if we can follow them, follow their lines and get a bit of a quicker lap time ourselves. We have set our best lap time this stint with a 42.9, but we're definitely gonna try to get close to it again. But in front again, a train forming. We're gonna try to get through it as quickly as possible. I'm very annoyed and very done with those trains. They've just cost me so much time today, especially this stint. So we're gonna try to use the guy in front, but you can see he is quite a bit quicker, and that means he's gonna overtake the first person. Makes a bit of a mistake though and has to go sideways. A little bit annoying for him there. He tried to get alongside, trying to give him a push on the straight and then work together to overtake. I'm not gonna overtake him immediately because he makes one mistake, because I don't think that will work out great, and he will of course try to get past me again then, and that's not something I want. Through the middle part of this lap, just closing up to that guy in front of him. Not quite close enough to make a move yet, and they now start battling in front, side by side. Let's see if we can use it. The guy on the inside, almost 3 wide, dives towards the inside. We're gonna try to follow him through, just make sure we're there and then go around the outside. We actually hit the apex there very beautifully, very well done. A bit of a mistake, we give a bit of room to the guy in red, and the next guy makes a mistake, goes very wide. The guy in red has a compromised line and can't quite get past fully. We get a hit in the back, get a bit of a push, and now we're through the first turn. That helps us. Someone down our inside though, and we're now side by side through the right hander. We managed to shut them out, but that gives us a bit of space to the guy in front. Can't immediately then follow him through on the next left hander. We're gonna try for the next corner. We have a better exit, dive towards the apex there. We're side by side, still not fully through though. We're gonna try on the left hander to stick it around the outside, and we managed to be there, but he shoves us off track. The guy behind us gets through, he goes wide. That was a bit of a weird move there, but we do get past there because they make a mistake. The guy in front of me now does look quite quick. We went quite wide, so we have a little bit of wetness on the tires, a bit of water on the tires. We might have a bit less grip for a couple of corners, but that doesn't matter. We send it through the first couple of turns and then we catch up with someone in blue. We both need to get past though, so we're gonna try again to follow someone through, but he can't quite make the move through the left hander side by side now, and then going through the right hander. We stick behind. We kind of use the guy in blue to get past, but we're 3 wide now. I go around the outside, he tries the inside, but the switchback works. We're trying to stick though behind him. A little bit of a hit in the back there, and that means the status quo is maintained. You see me looking up a little bit. I'm really annoyed. The guy in blue going wide and someone now side by side, but still the guy in blue behind, and someone is now right behind me, but he goes down the inside of the guy in blue and we follow him through because he went a bit wide there through the first couple of turns. We could also push down the inside and get past, and now we have 5 more laps to go after this one. The guy in front is a little bit slower through the corners, and that means I do want to get past him, but where to do it? On the long left hander, we dive down the inside, even though there's not that much room. We go on the grass even, but through the left right we are now past. I don't think he will be happy with me, but that doesn't matter. I'm done being stuck behind someone. We go defensive into the final corner, make sure there's no room for a switchback or anything, and now we're gonna try to get away from him, set some quick lap times. The last lap of 43.8, that's at least half a second away from what I want to do for my lap time. We use a lot of curb and go a bit sideways. Looking behind, the guy is still there, but he's definitely not close enough to make a move. Of course he will be a bit quicker following me, because it's always a bit quicker to follow someone, but he doesn't look like he is going to make a move. Maybe give me a push at some of the points on track, especially on the straight. If my engine bogs down a bit, we go very wide through the left right, but still that doesn't matter either. We take enough speed through there, and going on to the straight, we do actually improve by that half a second. 43.2 as a very good, and we need to keep doing that for the rest of this stint. Of course, not long to go, nothing happening between between the stints 3 and 4. This is my 4th stint of the day. We're gonna go next week to stint 5. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be light, that stint just after sunrise. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Looking behind, I don't see the guy anymore, so maybe we looked the wrong way. Maybe we have gained some time on him, not quite sure, but we do see some people in front again. It's just a question of if my stint finishes first or do I catch them first. The gap behind looking there is bigger, and we get the signal from our team. Only a few more laps and then we're coming in end of the stint, and that is, I think, something that is very welcome. I've done everything I can, been stuck behind someone for quite a bit, behind actually quite a few people, and have lost more time than I liked, but still also some very quick lap times, which is encouraging. And next stint is going to be a lot of fun, but for that you'll need to tune in next week. And for this week, the question, if you watch this far, then of course you get my question. I always ask a question at the end, that's why you should stay and watch. What did you think of the traffic? I thought they were kind of dumb, didn't really work together, but that was my view. What did you think of it? As the pit lane is actually closed, someone spun around there on the pit lane entry, and we kind of need to come in as soon as we can to not go past that limit of 55 minutes. We have a bit of room though. We're gonna come in as soon as that pit lane clear is given, and we just have someone in front. We might be able to clear them. I think one more lap after this one, then we are coming in. Someone just right behind me though, so we'll have to be careful. Guy in front dressed in all black, and that means we're gonna try to get past as quickly as we can. We can't quite dive down the inside of the final corner though, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit. We are pushing him on the straight, looking towards the inside. There is a bit of room, we just go for it. It works out, so that is very good. Someone in green now in front of us. It does seem like we need to overtake them before we even get to the pit lane, get to our end of the stint. So we're gonna dive down the inside of the right hander here. That was quite an easy move, and that is us through again. But that is the end of the stint, guys. Just a couple more corners to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. If you want to see the rest of this race, then just follow this channel, subscribe. We have someone down our inside though, the guy that we overtook quite aggressively a bit ago. We're going into the pit lane, so it doesn't matter. We have 2 more stints to go, one from myself, one from my teammate Samuel, who's doing the final stint of the race. Subscribe, because that is going to be a lot of fun, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.